Check. There we go.
Ready for takeoff?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. What if you did it in the,
In a world,
Oh, yeah, the movie guy.
ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on.
That's more like Inspector Gadget.
Right.
Next time, Gadget. Next time. I'm gonna get you, Gadget.
Wowzers.
If you ever want to scare your wife or your friend, just go up behind them and say,
Next time, Gadget.
they will freak out.
Yeah, I bet.
But if we're ready for takeoff,
Look at me and verbally say, yeah, you can handle this.
yes. Can you handle this?
Yeah.
You ready for takeoff?
Yeah.
That's what they should do. Instead of like being so professional about taking off, they should amp you up. Like, let's get ready to rumble. You know that guy?
Right.
If they did that, I think we'd be, which I'm not afraid of flying, but at one point I was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like first,
I was about to say, people who are afraid of flying that are on the plane,
yeah.
they're going to have arguments about that. Because, like, I liked a calm presence. When everything was calm, then I knew that everything was all right.
Yeah.
You know? When you start seeing flight attendants freak out,
No, not that. I mean like amp up. Like if
Yeah.
they're like, if the pilot came on, he said, it's going to be the best day of your life, folks. Come on. You know? Like,
yeah.
here we go. I don't know.
But then the thoughts come into my head and be like, is he suicidal?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Let's
Get ready to crash and burn. Be like,
let's get ready to crumble.
is this pilot all right? I don't trust him.
Yeah, he's a little too excited.
I do remember getting on a flight back in like 2005, and Delta was going through like some hardships,
Yeah.
and they were laying off people,
Yeah.
and so we were supposed to fly out of Indiana, coming back here, and the pilot gets on the thing and just expresses his opinion about everything.
Seriously.
Oh yeah, and he was like, "Well, I don't know if I'm going to have a job when we get back, but oh well, here we go. We're going to Atlanta."
Like politics?
Yeah,
Or, really? Wow.
and people were just looking around. Was like, "Is he going to crash this thing or what?"
Yeah, that would be concerning.
Because pilots do get paid
What if
a plentiful amount of money.
if you got on the plane and they were like, well, hope you guys are doing well. Probably don't care how I'm doing. So no one really cares how the pilot's doing.
Yeah.
So let's hope we get there.
Yep.
What would you do? I don't know. I think I might make a scene and say, hey, I need to be off this plane.
Right. Either he goes or I go,
Yeah.
or we all go.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah, that would freak me out a little bit
Yeah, I would be freaked out.
for sure.
But all that to say, let's get Twerk Ethic Show off the ground.
Yeah.
You ready to do? You ready
Absolutely.
to take off?
Yeah. And the
Cool,
calming
man.
presence is nice to me. But we can get hype in this Twerk Ethic show. There's going to be music here, right? Or else I'm dancing to nothing. Jeremy.
Y'all ready for this?
But anyway, what is up, Mr. Cooley?
Hey, cuz.
Well, the audience has no idea. The audience has no idea what's going on, but I do,
Yeah, you do.
because that is your, well, obviously it's your cousin,
Right. It is cousin.
Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philip from Liberty, South Carolina.
Yes. He's country, but there's
Yeah.
different layers of country.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm Southern. If you're in Minnesota right now and you're listening to me, you're going to be like, what do you mean you're not Southern? Well,
Right. What do you mean you're not Southern?
my voice
Minnesota.
has transitioned to what I would call Metro Atlanta Southern.
Sure.
No. Mine's like we talked about, it's more like making. Or
You're moving up 75
yeah.
slowly but surely.
I'm not South Georgia. I'm not in Atlanta. Probably middle, whatever.
I would assume when you lived in Waycross, it was much, much thicker.
Way. I've actually heard some old recordings of me talking and yeah.
Yeah.
But then you go down to Waycross,
Right.
and this is how I used to talk, boy.
Yeah.
And it's different. And it's not necessarily, it ain't what you're doing.
No.
And there's a little bit more energy in mine.
Right.
And then there's Cowboy JT. He's just over the top, son.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what. But that's
Yep.
not, neither of those are your cousin.
No.
It's a different thing.
It is a different thing.
Why is it though?
Less like when you first moved here and we first started hanging out, you still had the thick dialect.
Yeah.
Because remember, we were at somebody's house and we were playing games, and the answer was dog, and you go, dog.
What game was it?
I can't even remember, dude.
I do remember that.
But I remember the answer was dog.
You literally couldn't stop laughing.
No, dude.
And it was because, all right,
But you did it, and you did nothing.
Let me
because
walk-
you were just answering it.
let me walk you through this, right? From
Yeah.
a super Southern guy's point of view. Moved to Atlanta, right? I'm trying to better myself, not in terms of moving to Atlanta. I just mean as a human being, I'm
Right.
trying to better myself.
Sure.
Trying to like just grow into a human and mature and all this other stuff. Well, part of that was the area that I was in. I was trying to, kind of not necessarily fit in, but I mean, I think it's just tribal.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that sticks out like a sore thumb. So it just naturally, my accent started going away.
But just making sure.
Okay.
But then again, we are in Georgia, and a lot of people have your accent, so you didn't actually stick out that much.
Well, yeah, but I think it was because I was already turning a corner because
Right.
I had lived in Michigan and all this other stuff.
That's true.
But when you get me going
Yeah.
and I no longer have a filter in terms of I'm not thinking about how to present myself or, then I start bringing out the words orta instead of alt and bari instead of borrow.
Oh, yeah.
Pilla.
My dad says Barry.
But what happened there
Pilla.
is I just got excited and I forgot. And I do remember I was like, dog.
I know, because you were like, well, you were sure of the answer for one, but nobody had answered yet. And you were just like, I know it. Dog.
Dog.
So, oh, yeah, dude, I fell on the floor. It was
I
so
remember.
funny.
You were dying.
I couldn't stop. And nobody else did anything. Like, not, and then you realized what I was laughing at. You were like, oh, yeah, that was kind of thick, wasn't it?
What's funny too is like, well, me and Sarah Carter will drive down to Waycross and she called, by the way,
Yeah.
like I know there's people in Waycross. I promise you I'm not making fun of it.
Right.
I'm so proud of where I come from.
Sure.
But if you're not from there, it takes a little bit of explanation.
Yeah.
And so when I first took Sarah Carter there, I tried to explain to her what it is and how it's different. And she's like, oh, I've been to the country. She tried to like reject the explanation.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll see. And so we went down there, and on the way back, I mean, dude, it literally looked like she had been hit by a freight train. She just was like in the car. She was just slouched over and just like,
Oh, wow.
completely dead. And she calls it the Waycross tranquilizer because everything is so much slower, which sometimes I really miss.
Sure.
And just, it's so funny. And she was like, yeah, there was no way you could have explained that to me. And so,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, definitely a different landscape. I mean, because I've been down to Waycross a couple times because my dad's from there. So been down there a couple times, and I'm just like, yep, trains everywhere. So I'm just like, it's like, this is almost like Honey Boo Boo type stuff.
This is the way I used to describe it when people would ask about my family. Actually, it started in Michigan. People would say, ask about my family, and I would say, no. Listen, my family is Duck Dynasty, not Honey Boo Boo. And they would go, oh, okay,
That's true.
I got it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's a... I know it's weird to use the word sophistication with Duck Dynasty.
No, yeah.
But holy cow.
That's the word I was going to use.
Yeah. It's like...
It makes sense.
It's such a difference.
Yep.
But anyway, all this to say, there are multiple layers of country
Yeah.
and southern and all this other stuff.
Uh-huh.
And there's also multiple different variations.
Right.
And your cousin is unlike anyone that I particularly know.
Yeah.
And it got me.
Yeah.
And how did it happen?
Because
How did I even hear about them?
Well, because he was getting married soon, and he was calling my phone, and I saved one of his voicemails, and then I played it for you. In the car.
That's what it was.
And I was like, "Hey, this is how my cousin talks." Boom, here it is. And yeah, I remember you couldn't hold it together. It was so funny, but it's very different because he was brought up in upstate South Carolina near Greenville area, but it's a small town called Liberty, and my parents actually live next door to that town now. But I remember, growing up, I had an accent too because I grew up in North Carolina and in a small town. I mean, I grew up in Charlotte, but then we moved away to this small town called Troy.
Yeah.
And everybody had an accent there. And so I remember being a kid and calling my dad, and dad had 2 syllables. Dad. And
That's like Jared too. Jared says daddy.
did he?
No, his is more like an E.
Oh,
Because I know what you're talking about. Some people say diddy,
did he? Yeah.
but Jared's like daddy. Daddy.
Did he?
And mine's more like yours. I say dad.
Right.
Dad.
Yeah.
But Jared, if you listen to him, he'd be like, oh man, I was out there working with daddy. I can't even do it like him.
Right.
But anyway.
Yeah. And I remember losing the accent when I moved to Virginia. Because a lot of people there were some people with the Southern accent, but there was a lot of people that didn't have it.
What I will never be able to do is call my dad father.
Oh, no. Nope.
Like, number one, my dad has told me, don't ever call me that.
Right.
But I also just, like, the way I grew up,
Yeah.
it's probably the worst thing you could, not worse, but you would never say
No.
that. Like,
Right.
excuse me, father?
Yeah. It's almost like a smart aleck tone.
Yes.
And I think that's probably why they didn't allow
I agree
it,
with that.
Because it was like, yeah.
But even, like, referring to my
Yes,
dad.
father. And I'm like, oh, here comes the fist.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. My dad never hit me with a fist. But
Just with his feet.
with a backhand, bro.
Even if I'm referring to him,
And a tree trunk.
I would never say, my father.
Yeah.
My father is a brand of cigars.
It is a very good brand.
Yes. Very, very good.
Yeah.
But I would never be like, my father taught me as a child.
Right.
It'd be my dad done learned me as a kid.
My dad taught me a thing or two.
My dad used to teach me all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I lost it when I moved to Virginia. And then I remember I had a friend that we hung out all the time after school. His name was Burke Walker, and
That's kind of a
and he was like
Burke.
Well, that was his middle name.
Oh, okay.
His first name was Dave, but everybody called him Burke.
And
And
sounds like a cool baseball name or something.
right. And but we'd hang out all the time, and he was like a funny dude, so we got along really well. And he was over at my house one time, and my cousins from North Carolina came up to visit, and they have a thick accent, but it's different from Philip in South Carolina. But she came up, and I remember this vividly, and she said, "My friend, she got arrested," and
Arrested.
and Bert just like interrupted her. He's like, "Wait a minute, what? Did you say arrested?" And then I was just like, "Wow, I used to talk like that."
Oh yeah.
Like it was close to that.
And then there's a thing where you can't. There's some words that you can't say,
Yeah.
like sell and sell.
Oh yeah.
That's the same for me.
Yeah.
Where like my
Sure.
wife, it's very clear which one is SELL.
Yeah.
It's very, and to me, it's like they're on sale,
Right.
and I'm gonna go sell these. And me, my mom, and my dad, for like an hour,
Yeah.
we tried to say these words,
Oh really?
and like SAIL, and we were like sale. Okay, well, what's this one? Sale. What's this one? Sale. We just could not do it.
Nice.
But anyway, arrested.
But yeah, so I was like, it was that mid North Carolina accent, you know. it's
By the
just-
way, you have a
mountains.
really good girl Southern impression.
oh yeah, because I used to hang around it all the time.
Yeah, but I'm not sure I could do that.
I lived in North Carolina for 13 years, so and that was where I learned to talk, and you know that was it. That's what
Yeah.
I went by. So yeah, but yeah, I can just
Plus
hear
you
their
hung-
voice vividly.
I was
in
going to
my
say
head.
you hung out around a lot of softball players too, right? Didn't you?
Oh,
tell me
yeah,
that?
for sure.
I guarantee you they were super Southern.
Yeah, some of them were for sure. But yeah, so the difference between that and then my cousin Philip is just completely opposite. Same family. It's all side of my mom's side of the family. It's her two brothers.
Yeah.
And so the other brother has three boys, and the one brother has one boy and two girls. But the three boys are just like, I mean, you walk in, you're just like, what did they say? It is so thick. And so it's the guy that goes, "Hey, cuz," and every time he leaves me a voicemail, that's what he says. He actually left me one the other day because he just got a new phone number.
That's amazing.
He's like, "Hey, cuz, just calling you. Yeah, I'm up here at work, and he,
See, this is what's different.
I'm not
It's
making
like,
fun of you, Philip.
No,
I
God.
love you to death,
dude.
But it's like it's so funny.
But that accent is like much more relaxed.
Oh yeah,
It's just like it's like you.
it's. I mean, it's the country town.
By the way,
You know, if a McDonald's moves in, oh my God, let's flip out. You know, that's it.
my neighbor's dog. I swear,
Oh yeah.
they just leave it out, and I'm like,
How big is that mug anyway?
it's pretty big, but he obviously has like anxiety or something.
Yeah.
And they just leave it out, and he just barks until he sounds like he's going to
Glad
throw
we're not
up.
outside today. Sheesh,
You know.
that'd be so loud.
Anyway, so if you hear the dog, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I don't know what his name is, or else I'd.
I
yell
call him Bob Barker.
Yeah,
Sir barks a lot.
yeah. He's barking up the wrong tree every time.
Yeah.
Mutt Lang.
Bend Rover.
So, but I like doing his accent because it's just very long and drawn out.
Well, let's get a little bit more of it because I've
And,
interrupted you.
So Yeah, he just got married, and me and my wife, Cindy, we was up there, and we was hoping the church would take care of all the stuff for us, but we got to do some stuff ourselves. And then I was like, yeah,
What's your
it's like, Philip, it's kind of what happens.
cousin Philip? What's your tux like? What's it look like?
What's what?
Your tux for your wedding?
Oh, tux.
Yeah.
Well, we got the black pants, like everybody wears,
Sure.
but we're not wearing coats. We got vests, and they're camouflage.
Camouflage.
Yeah, and then
Ain't
the
nobody gonna see you.
and then the boutonniere has a shotgun shell in it.
Hey, I feel like I got to talk Cowboy JT. Hey, let me ask you something. Is the shotgun shell? Is it 20 gauge, 10 gauge, 12 gauge?
It's 12 gauge.
12 gauge.
We went with standard gauge. It's 12.
That's good. Hey, that's good. That's a good decision, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? People probably gonna come to your wedding and say, "What you doing with shotgun shells in your dadgum?"
And
I'm gonna say, "Well, why don't you have them?"
yeah. And the bouquet that the bride tosses.
Yeah.
Cindy was holding it, and it's got 7 shotgun shells in it as part of the floral arrangement.
I can't even stay in character because I'm trying to match you,
Right.
but there's completely different accents.
Oh yeah,
God.
for sure.
Oh man.
But it was a good day, It was a good day. So it was pretty fun.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you
fun
what,
wedding.
son. See, that's so different.
Oh yeah.
God, that's so different.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that impression if I tried.
Yours is more. Yeah, I mean yours is more deep south than his. I don't.
Well, and you have the Carolina. You have the Carolina
Right.
South,
Oh,
which is
yeah, dude.
way different than Georgia.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you got the Savannah, which Andy would say,
Oh yeah.
you got molasses just running out your mouth. The molasses just pouring out your mouth. Savannah. I've actually met people that literally talk like his impression.
Oh yeah.
I mean, literally
For sure.
that dramatic.
Yep.
I'm from Savannah.
Yeah. It's a thing down there, man.
But
Speaking of Savannah,
yeah.
you and the wife
Oh, God.
took a trip down there one time.
Oh, my gosh.
You remember that? Well, obviously you remember this.
Yes.
You and the wife
Yes. Savannah.
took a trip down to Savannah,
Yeah.
Georgia one time.
Look,
you didn't stay very long though.
No.
Tell us why.
I cannot believe
And it's kind of my fault.
your fault.
It's kind of my fault because I brought it up
Like while we were there,
while you were there.
you're gonna have to remind me of that because I don't remember that part.
Because
But I'll set it up.
Okay.
And you can just remind me.
Go for it.
So I got this idea. We're going to Waycross. Me and Sarah Carter. There it is. We're going to Waycross. And I'm like, I'm going to do something nice and romantic and surprise the wife.
Yep.
So I got on Yelp or whatever they do,
Whatever they do. You mean everybody?
I got on Yelp or whatever. And, oh, daggone trip consultant.
True consultant. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I got on
Hang on.
What is it?
Hang on. Hey, you're live on the podcast.
God, the pressure.
Yeah. Say hey.
Who's that?
Say hey.
Hey, Sarah Carter. You are live.
I have really good timing.
Well, actually, you have better timing than you thought. We're about to tell the Savannah ghost story.
Oh, God. That's a good one, though.
It is a good one. Okay.
You just want me to text you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. What? I was just going to say this earlier, how when she goes to Waycross, she gets this accent.
Oh, nice.
Just like then, she's like, sounds good. And for those listening, she does not have a Southern accent.
No, she doesn't.
At all.
No.
Okay. All right. Love you.
See you, Sarah Carter. Bye.
Oh, that was perfect.
Wow, she does that really well.
That's my wife.
Nice. That's our first interview, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm putting that in there.
Heck yeah.
So anyway, ghost story.
Back to Savannah.
Back to Savannah. I was going to take her to somewhere place. I was going to take her to somewhere nice. And I looked at all the reviews and I found this place.
And Savannah is nice.
Yeah, I think it might be. Oh, thought you were going to do the sipperoo. Oh, that's another thing too. We're doing few
And far between. Why am I so blurry?
bourbon.
I'm
Watch
so
this.
blurry.
The blur goes away. Holler. There we go. This
Everybody,
few
I'm
bourbon
back.
is actually extremely good. Have you had it yet, or are you still drinking your coffee?
No, I haven't had it yet. No. Still with the coffee.
So I looked at this place. I want to say the name was like Marshall House
Okay.
or something like that. Phenomenal reviews.
Right.
It's like 4.9 stars.
Sheesh.
5,000 people reviewed it.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you just literally cannot get better.
Wow.
It was just through the roof. So I was
Yeah.
like, boom, book it. We're going to go stay in Savannah. It was for July 4th.
Oh, nice.
You know, boom, booked it. So we went to Waycross, hung out with my parents. And then I was like, hey, by the way, we're not going home tonight. She was like, are we staying here again? And I was like, no. We're actually going to drive to Savannah and go stay in a hotel and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yes, this is awesome. And she either hasn't been or it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And so we went to Savannah. You know, we were super excited. We drove there.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to help me remember how you were involved in this.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Okay, go ahead.
It was just a nice little text to you. And I was like, and I think, did I know you were going to Savannah? Or did you tell me later on, like when you were on your way?
I think I just told you.
Okay. So, yeah, because I texted you later that night, and I was like, what's up, man? How's Savannah? You were like, it's great and everything. And then I was like, well, you seen any ghosts? And then you got quiet. and I think you and Sarah Carter had talked about it or something like that. And then like an hour later, I wish I had the text. I don't have it anymore, obviously, because it's been years. But when you text me back, you're just like, or you called me and you're like, yeah, we're on the way home.
Okay. All right. I know where you fit in now. I know where you fit in.
I was like, oh shoot, what did I do?
So believe it or not, it wasn't your fault.
Right.
But I know what happened.
Okay.
All right. So we got to the hotel. We got the bus boy or whatever they're called. Is it bus boy?
Bellboy.
Bellboy.
Bellhop.
Bellhop.
Something like that. I don't know.
But, hey, Mr. Bellbottom.
Yeah.
So we got that guy. There's a dude that's dressed up that gets your bags.
Yeah.
You know?
Call
So
for the bellhop. Yeah.
he came and got our bags, put it on the cart, which always makes me nervous because, like, dude, I can get my own bags. I know you're
Right.
trying to make a buck, but
Yeah.
I'll do it myself.
Right.
I don't have cash to give you.
Yeah.
Anyway, they beat me to it, put the stuff on the thing. Then we went in the elevator.
Yeah.
And this is where it happened. So as we're on the elevator, he's like, you guys enjoying your stay? And we're like, well, yeah. He's like, you been here before? I was like, no, but great reviews. He's like, yeah, tons of history here. I was like, oh, really? Well, you know, I'm such a fan of history. I was like,
Yeah.
well, tell me about it. He goes, well, this place is like severely haunted.
Severely.
And I was like, severely? And he was like, yeah, this used to be This used to be an old Civil War hospital. And
Sheesh.
blah, blah. He said a couple things, and
Yeah.
I just got deathly silent because I don't do ghosts.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what hey, I ain't got time for that.
No. Nope.
And so we walked to our room,
Yeah.
and we were both just dead silent
Yeah.
because she don't do ghosts either. And so we got in our room, and I was like, "What do you think?" She's like, surely it's not a thing."
Right.
She's like, "Well, I'm gonna go take a shower." I said, "Okay." And she goes to get in the shower, and then she comes back out like literally 1 second after she walks in the bathroom. She goes, "Hey, don't look this up on your phone." And I was like, I'm not. As soon as she goes in the bathroom, I go read the reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just filled full of stories.
Really?
Of like the door handle moving by itself and all this other
Wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
And like the shower coming on its own and knocks on the door. And I
No
was
way.
like, whoa. And it's all in the reviews, but I just didn't think to read the reviews.
Yeah.
Because they were so good.
Right.
And so
Were they still rating it like a great experience after all that?
oh
or-
yeah, because that's what they wanted. They were booking. They wanted to be in a.
They were in it for the thrill.
They were in for the thrill.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. So it was like
That's hilarious.
it's like a well-known whatever.
Yeah.
So then later, I'm looking it up, and I Google it. This is like when she's almost done with her shower. Turns out it's like, I think it's like the most haunted house in Georgia. And it's the 8th most haunted house in the world.
Sheesh.
And I'm like, great. And I don't do haunted at all.
No.
When I was in high school, I got kicked out of a haunted house because I punched the guy that touched me. Dead serious. One of those
Right.
things, the guy like, they're not supposed to touch you, but he like grabbed me.
Oh, dude.
And I punched him and
Yeah.
they kicked me out of it. But
It's a knee-jerk reaction.
yeah. So we're like, you know what? Pfft, this is silly. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
We're just going to go to dinner.
Yeah.
And that is when that's when you text me.
Okay.
And you were like,
Not knowing any of this, obviously.
yeah, you were just like, have you seen a ghost yet? I'm like, okay. it's the guy on the elevator,
Yeah.
all the Google reviews, and then you texting. But again, I was like, you know what? We came here. We're spending a lot of money.
Sure.
We're going to go to a nice Italian restaurant. It's going to be fine. Well, that's because it was still light outside, and I was able to not think about it. Well, we got to the end of our dinner. It's about 9:30, something like that. We go back to the hotel. I'm starting to freak out,
Yeah.
right? And then I remember when we went to check in, promise you, I'm not a guy that makes up stuff to whatever.
Yeah.
But when we go to check in, I remember going to the bathroom,
Okay.
and the door of the bathroom was open,
Okay.
which not a big deal.
When you went in?
Yeah, I just thought there's a door stopper, or
Right,
you know, how
right.
some doors
Just
just
propped
like
open.
if you push them far enough, they just hang.
Most of the time, it's the men's room anyway.
Yeah.
That's propped open. Yeah.
Well, that was propped open,
Yeah.
and Sarah Carter had went to the bathroom, and I didn't have to go to the bathroom, but I just remember the men's bathroom being propped open.
Yeah.
Well, and then in a minute, this guy came out, and he was probably 16 years old, and he was dressed like a Union soldier.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, in my head, I remember thinking like, oh, you know, people are weird nowadays, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you don't know what to think. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
he's dressed up. Maybe he's doing a enactment or reenactment or
Reenactment,
whatever. And like,
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
I just didn't think much of it. Cause
Right.
look, everybody's weird. I don't
true.
know. Just, yeah, I have no idea
Yeah.
what I'm going to see in America now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that happened. And then I remember he went in. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm messing this story up. That's what it was. The men's bathroom was closed. And then he went in and the door stayed.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Then he walked out and the door still stayed. Well, on the way back in from the restaurant, I noticed that door was closed. And I'm like, honey, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I went to the bathroom. Again, this is in the hotel. And when I went to open the door, it closed no problem. And it is clearly not one of those doors that would stay open by itself.
Right.
It's extremely weighted and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, this is getting really weird.
Yeah.
And so then I go upstairs, and again, I Google until I'm going to die. And apparently they found in like early 2000s, they like remodeled this hotel.
Yeah.
And they found all of these bones underneath all of the floors because it was so cold that the doctors would literally just pull up the floorboards and put the amputated legs and arms, and that stayed there for 100 years or whatever. And I was like, dude.
No residual there.
I was like, dude. And so Sarah Carter came in bed and we were watching something like Jimmy Fallon or something. And I'm all in my head.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, I'm just going to go to sleep as fast as I can. She goes, yo, you can't go to sleep. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, if you go to sleep, I'll never go to sleep.
All right.
I'm like, well, you need to get to sleep then. And so as we're talking, I seen this white flash in front of me. Again, I'm not making this crap up.
Yeah.
I have no interest in like fabricating anything.
Yeah.
Saw this white flash, and I'm like, did you see that? She goes, don't play. Don't play. I said, I'm not playing. You obviously didn't see it.
Right.
And then it happened again.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, did you see that?
Yeah.
She was like, oh my God. And so she just rolled over and tried to go to sleep. And I said, hey. She said, yeah. I said, you ready to leave? She goes, yep. Dude, we jumped up. We packed everything. And we were out of that particular hotel room in like a minute.
Yeah.
Literally a minute.
Yeah.
So much so I left 5 button-up shirts and my Google Chromecast. Literally left them. I was so shook. I just left them in the closet.
Wow.
Went downstairs, told the guy I wanted to check out. He was like, everything okay with your stay? And I was like, yeah, we just want to get home for 4th of July. He's like, okay. We go to put our stuff in the car, and we look across the street, and there's a line of like 25 people. They're doing a haunted ghost tour, and our hotel is a stop on their ghost tour. And we were like, of course.
Right.
And so we got in the car and just hauled tail back to Atlanta, and that's when I called you.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you ain't ever going to believe this. But we left. You know, and it's funny because you said, have you seen a ghost?
Right.
And then all that crap happened.
Wow.
That's what the silence was. It was like,
Yeah.
it was all hitting me. And
yeah.
that was a mess, dude. That scared us so much, man.
Dude, I learned about Savannah like that through one of my favorite shows ever, which was Ghost Adventures. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's what it was, is that
yeah.
that's why I wanted to call you, because you were very into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been to Savannah like twice, I think, something like that. And they've had like some spooky run-ins for sure.
Yeah.
And one of them was in Savannah, which is at the Moon River Brewery. Like the basement's like really, really haunted and stuff. And like dude got like possessed for like a second. And there he was like freaking the other two out and stuff like that. And so I knew, because they were interviewing people that were locals. And so after seeing that, because I saw that years ago, because I was like in the 2nd season of that show, which was like, I mean, they're like season 14 now or something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy. So that was a while back.
Yeah.
So I remember going to Savannah, and we had a gig at one of the places. We had a wedding to play at. And so we had some time to kill. So I was like, let's just go down to River Street and hang out, which is a cool spot. Cool shops along the way, cool, good seafood and stuff. And we went into this shop. It was like, they sold like antiques, like little trinkets and stuff like that. And so we went in there, and I was just like, and I was just, you know, we were talking to the girl that worked there, and we were just kind of started talking, and I was just like, so I was like, yeah, you ever get any like, I was like, I know Savannah to be one of the most haunted places in the world.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Which I didn't.
right, yeah,
I don't know how I missed this in my lifetime,
right,
but I didn't know anything was haunted in
yeah.
Savannah.
I mean, I wouldn't have known if I didn't watch Ghost
yeah.
Adventures. Yeah. So but they were like interviewing all the locals and stuff, and I was just like, well, so when I went there, it was kind of like interviewing a local too, but I was just talking to them, and they were just like, and so I was like, does this store ever get like, spooky at night? She was like, oh, I as soon as like the last person is in here, I lock up as soon as they leave, and I leave with them.
My gosh.
And she's like, and when I go home, I don't look to the left or right because I share, it's like a duplex that she shares with people or whatever. And she's like, I just look at the floorboard and just go straight to my room and then go to sleep.
Wow.
And I was like, so she's like, could you please not talk about it anymore? I was like,
Oh, wow.
I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's fine. No.
Dude, I get it though, man.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
Dude, that,
And then,
that
by the
crap's
way,
too real, bro.
The next day, I had to call the hotel, and they ended up shipping me my
so you
my
got all the
clothes and my Chromecast. 'Cause I literally, whatever.
Right.
It's funny. I remember two things about Savannah. Number one is this story.
Yeah.
And number two was we got to play. Our travel baseball team got to play at the Sand Nat Stadium, the minor league team.
Okay.
And they kind of have a green wall.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember my third base coach coming over to me, and he goes, dude, just trust me. This is going to be a hanging curveball. And I was like, okay. He said, if it's a fastball, go ahead and look like an idiot. Swing as if this is a hanging curveball.
Right.
I said, okay. Dude, I destroyed it. And so it's like, I hit a home run out of a minor league stadium. But I remember that just being like, he's like, dude, it's a hanging curveball. And that thing just hung, and I was just like, Gah! Knocked it out of the park. So those are my two memories.
That's a good Savannah story.
That one was a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
But also the story that I got from the ghost thing is just,
Yeah.
I can't believe you remembered that.
Bro, Savannah, man.
Yeah.
That's what I think about.
So, dude, I think that's the end.
All
I
right.
think we're going to call it quits today.
This is the end.
Yes. I do want to remind people.
I don't know what song that is.
I do want to remind people that we're doing covers now.
Yes.
We want to bring our music side back out. And honestly, we don't talk about this enough. For those of you who don't know, Nathan is a professional drummer, also a professional friend. But he is a professional drummer.
Right.
I was a professional guitar player. Professional being we get paid to do it.
Right.
And
Yeah. Not fortune and fame.
yes, but
This music industry is not like that.
music is an extremely huge portion of our life. Even when we're not playing it, we listen to it like crazy. But
Oh, yeah.
over quarantine, I wrote pop punk covers and you did drum covers. And so we were like, you know what? How can we put this in the show? And so on YouTube, we've already put up a Taylor Swift pop punk cover
Yeah.
of us changing the song completely. We take the acapella and then we put guitar, bass, and drums over it. And this time we actually did a music video. So if you haven't seen that, like go to YouTube, check that out.
Yep.
I'm here to announce we're also doing currently a Disney medley. We're going to do, I think we're going to do Moana, Lion King,
Yeah.
Frozen. We're going to bring in our friend Jared Poff to play the drums. And I think for a lot of the videos,
You mean the bass?
did I say drums?
You did.
I got. I've been meaning to tell you that.
That's no.
You're fired.
No.
Just kidding. No, he's coming to play the bass.
Yes.
And
Although he could take my place on drums, he's good.
y'all are just different styles.
But he can lay down some bass though.
That dude,
For show.
Jared is a phenomenal musician.
Yeah.
And you will see him on these videos. And then videos after that, we'll probably bring in other musicians like
Right.
Rudy.
Yep.
Probably do something with Dustin and Cooley at some point. I'm sure Jared Prisbiz,
Yep.
Preston. Gosh,
Yeah.
we have so many
Sky's the limit.
insane musicians.
Brandon Fiddler.
Brandon, what is that?
He's a fiddler. He plays the fiddle.
How did I miss that joke?
Yeah. Remember when he was at Allie's house and he was fixing something and he was on top of the house and I was like, hey, it's Brandon Fiddler on the roof.
You know, the story that we should tell about Brandon Fiddler, we actually can't tell on this podcast.
We could if we like censored it.
Yeah.
But
But it would be just
it's not, yeah. It's not as funny though.
It's
That's true.
But anyway, so look forward to that, guys. I mean, we're obviously still doing the podcast every single week.
Yeah.
But we're gonna kick it up a notch, and we're gonna take some musical experimentation and
Yeah.
also keep the comedy with it because I think that's kind of funny.
Sure.
So
Because like what we're doing now is clips which are really, really good, but I think we want to inject more of our talents into this podcast.
for sure.
And just keep it like, and it's kind of a separate thing, but it's kind of the same thing.
And I think
But
the better the music is, or the better the cover is, the more high quality is, literally the funnier it is.
oh yeah,
Because we could just do something and it'd be funny.
right.
But if you do it really well, you have like fantastic musicians and a great recording and a great video,
Yep.
it makes the joke even better for some reason.
yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
why, but it does.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, for those watching on YouTube, we very much appreciate it. And give us a,
Hit that subscribe button.
or a like,
It's easy.
or a like, a thumbs up.
Yeah, just hit it.
Yeah.
Just hit it down below, and comment whatever you want.
Yeah.
Comment
Literally whatever
ideas or questions that you may have.
Yes,
We will answer them
we will. And
because we don't have a huge following, and we'll get to every one of them.
that's true.
Yet. But yeah. But those who do follow us, thank you so much.
And those who are listening
It's
in the
very, very
future,
cool.
those who are listening in the future, here's your Easter egg. Because you know, like when people get really,
It's a hen.
yeah, you know, when people get really famous,
Yeah.
like people desire to go see like their first episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
When they weren't very good.
Yeah.
Well, here you go. We're saying that our following is not big right now. Huh? But you from the future, Marty. Doc.
We need to share that story about Doc on this, not on this episode, but
Doc on drums?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
for sure.
We will. And if you're listening,
Stay tuned for that.
If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, we very much appreciate you.
Yes.
We appreciate any of you.
Out in audio land.
Yeah. Out in audio land, video land,
sure.
Instagram, TikTok, however you're consuming us. Thank you.
Yes.
And with that,
Thanks so much. It's
we're
awesome.
Audi 5000.
Peace out, A-Town. What is it? Peace up, A-Town down.
That's right.
Beep, 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 beep.
You got to sign off.
Beep, beep.
You got to sign off. You got to sign off like Cousin Philip.
Oh, yeah. All right, cuz. We'll see you later. Hey, be careful with them shotgun shells. They still loaded. Boom.
Boom. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Have a great week in the Lord.
It's gentle grip.